What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am back today with some new stuff from Colourpop, and I'm gonna play with it here with you. So Colourpop released a new gloss in a squeeze tube. It is a plumping gloss called So Juicy, and I wanted to try some because, first of all, I have been so into glosses for the last bunch of months, almost a year now. I've been super into gloss, and I wasn't before, so I'm still pretty excited when a new gloss comes out that I think I might like. The promo pictures looked so, well, I guess they named it well because they looked so juicy, and they claim that these are a plumping gloss. So what I want to do today is, first of all, swatch the ones that I got. The colors that I got were Princess Cut, Partly Rowdy, Intersection, and Stuntin'. So I'm going to quickly swatch all of them for you. But what I would like to also do is I picked up some of the lippy pencils. Now, the lippy pencils from Colourpop have existed for a while, but they added some new colors. A few of the colors that I picked up are new, a few of them are not. But I figured it'd be fun to pair the glosses over some lip liners, maybe some combinations of lip liners, and see how that panned out, just to serve as some fun lipstick ideas, and also to give you a better look at how the glosses look applied over things as well. And what I want to do, because they say that these are plumping, I want to test if that's true. So I'm going to do an application of one of the shades, and we're going to let it sit on my lips and do a side-by-side before and after. And I'll do the side-by-sides with and without the gloss on. So I'll put it on and then show you guys what it looks like before with it on and after with it on, and also before and after with the gloss off, because gloss itself makes your lips look a lot fuller, because just the nature of putting something shiny on your lips, or anywhere for that matter, makes it look more rounded, more full. The highlights really bring attention to the depth of things and just make them look bigger in general, or make them stand out more in general, and that's gonna throw off our results. So I'd like to see how it looks both ways. Is it actually plumping anything, or does it just look bigger because it's juicy and glossy? But the top of them look like this. They're like a classic old school squeezy tube with the slanted top. They remind me of the glosses from Victoria's Secret back in the day. I don't know if Victoria's Secret still makes those. I know that I don't buy them anymore, but I used to love them. These kind of look like those in general a lot. They're bringing me back so many memories of those. But I don't recall those being plumping at all. I think they were just vanilla scented or something. So I'm going to do the swatches first, and then I'll do some combos over the lip liners just so you guys can see how they look over some other Colourpop shades. And then we'll do a little bit of a testy poo on whether it actually seems like it's plumping the lips or not. So I'm going to film the plumping portion first and test to see if I see any difference before we do any swatches, because I feel like if I don't do that, it's going to taint the results. But I'm going to put it at the end, toward the end of the video, before the review, just because I feel like more people are probably coming for the swatches, so I don't want to make you wait till the end for that. So just so you know, I am going to be doing the testing to see if the plumping part of it does anything before I do the swatches. I know somebody's going to leave a comment about it anyway, even though I said that out loud, and then I'm going to lose my mind. But anyway, for those of you who pay attention, I'm filming the plumping part first. Before we get started, please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second, because I would really appreciate it. And also, if you are new here, you've been lurking around for a little while, and you're on the fence, hey, maybe I should subscribe to this chick. She seemed okay. I don't know though, maybe not. Hello, subscribe. It's free, you have nothing to lose, and we get to hang out all the time. And I'm just saying, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I think that's all we need to talk about before we get started. So let's just jump into playing with these glosses. review of these at the end, but so far, these are so glassy. They really feel like a very high-end gloss, and they're very affordable. So far I like that. Now, as far as the combinations over the lippy pencils, I will put on the screen what lippy pencil I am using in case you want to see it. But just in general, what my plan is I'm going to take each of the shimmers and pair it over like a neutral toned pencil that I think it would look nice with. And then I'm going to do like a funky ombre combo at the end and top it with the clear glass. So cue the montage. All right, to test the plumping action here, I'm gonna go with the clear one. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in a second to show you what my lips look like before, and then as I let them sit, we'll do a side by side so you guys can see if there's actually any visible plumping action. Okay, so these are my lips before. I'm gonna leave this on and wait about 10 minutes and see if it plumps them up at all. Okay, this is what they look like after about 10 minutes. So here are the bare lips after. Okay, so after going through all of those, I have some thoughts. First and foremost, the 3 shades with the shimmer that I chose, 2 of them I think are absolutely gorgeous. So they're all pretty, but I found that Stuntin' was the least impressive out of all of them because it's kind of just like a pink tint with like a little tiny bit of glimmer and shimmer in it. But Partly Rowdy and Intersection are absolutely gorgeous shimmers. So as far as the packaging is concerned, it definitely gives me some 90s vibes, which is very trendy right now, so I'm not surprised by that at all. But the setup, like the actual component, is very 90s too, in that these were really popular in the 90s and early 2000s. And I was a little bit skeptical about whether I would like that slant tip squeezy applicator, but I think that although you're not getting a super precise application with such an applicator, it doesn't really matter because they are all very sheer glosses. If this was a highly pigmented gloss, I would probably feel very differently about that. But the upside to them that I did not see coming is with that hard plastic slant tip applicator, when you get the color that you put it over all over the tip inevitably, because that's just what happens when you layer gloss over another color. This is really easy to wipe off and clean as opposed to a doe foot applicator when you wind up putting it back in the tube, and the doe foot actually gets some of the lip color into the gloss and kind of changes the shade of it, which I always hate. That makes me crazy. Also, I think if you're a working makeup artist, something like this might be a lot more easy to use because you could just very easily squeeze this out onto the back of your hand or onto a palette or something like that and apply that to a client, so that's nice too. They're also super thick and glassy, which personally I find is really difficult to find in a drugstore price range kind of a gloss. I don't know of any glosses that are $7 or less that are as thick and shiny and glassy as this. I would say that the texture of them is comparable to MAC lip gloss. Like, it's very thick, very shiny, and it kind of puts like a thick glaze over your lips, which is really flattering looking. Now, with that said, some people don't like that feeling, but I don't feel like they're especially sticky. They do have a slick kind of texture to them as far as like what they feel like when your lips touch each other. So I don't think that you'll get like that sticky, annoying mess feeling from them, but they are definitely noticeable on your lips. They're thick, so they're not the kind of gloss that you throw it on and you're like, oh, this feels like a bomb, but it looks really shiny. Like, no, like they're there. Personally, that doesn't bother me, but it's definitely not as comfortable as, say, the Fenty Gloss Bomb or something along the lines of the Wet Cherry glosses from Lime Crime. Those are definitely very shiny like this, but not as thick and heavy. They're more of a balmy high shine, whereas these are like a thick, glassy finish. So what about the plumping? They don't feel super intense, but I can feel a tingle. It's definitely more of a minty tingle than a buzzing tingle. There are a few plumpers out there that feel like they make your whole mouth vibrate and they're very intense. They're also very effective, but this is more along the lines of the buxom glosses that have a little bit of plumper in them. It's more of a cooling, minty feeling, and it's not super intense, but I have to say that I felt like it was effective. I don't know if it made my lips look bigger per se. I'm gonna reserve my judgment for when I look at the footage side by side, because sometimes when you see something side by side, you see differences or lack thereof that your brain just failed to calculate. As a matter of fact, you guys will have seen the footage side by side by the time we get to this part of the video. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know, do you think you saw a difference between the before and after, especially on the bare lips? Did it look like it plumped them up at all? Maybe smoothed out some of my lines? What did you think? And just to touch on the lippy pencils, in case you guys have been wondering about those two, the 3 shades that I got that are more of like pinky neutral shades, I really like those, but I thought that maybe the 2 bluish colors were a little bit patchy. They aren't necessarily meant to go over your whole lip, but if you are planning to use them over your whole lip, maybe just keep in mind that they are not the most opaque thing in the world, but I did find them to be very creamy and they do dry down really quickly, and I definitely can see myself getting a lot of use out of these and also incorporating these into some fun looks that maybe don't require them to cover my entire lip. Also, they're a little deceptive because they feel like they're plastic, but they do need to be sharpened. They're not a roll up, which was surprising to me because I really thought that they were like a plastic screw up, but they're not, which is not a bad thing or a good thing, just a surprising thing. Overall, as far as the gloss is concerned, I think for the price point, these are really fantastic. They definitely have a lot of positives in their corner. I would definitely go and pick up more shades. I hope that they come out with some that are more like interesting shimmers, like, you know, like maybe like different shifts that you wouldn't expect, like some blues and greens and stuff like that. I think that would be really, really cool to see in this formula, and especially at such an affordable price point. And I'm also really, really excited to have this in a clear, because thick, glassy, clear glosses are not always the easiest to come by, and I love them. So overall, I would say that these were a win, and I'm really glad that I purchased them. Let me know if you've tried them or if you had your eye on them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please help your girl Nicole out and leave a like, because that is always super duper helpful for me in many ways. But mostly I want to know that you like the content that I'm putting out. If you are new here, do not forget to subscribe, because I don't want you to miss out on any future videos, and I would love to have you around to chat makeup with me. If you want to keep up with me between videos, I'm at Miss Quinface on pretty much any platform you could ever possibly want to find me on, but the one that I use the most is Instagram. So if you want to find me over there, I post close-ups and some looks that never make it to YouTube, some more creative stuff, lip art, things like that. And we do a lot of behind the scenes and polls and stuff on Instagram stories, so you don't want to miss out. Come find me over there and follow along. Oh, by the way, the combination that I wound up wearing right now, because it was the one that I liked the most, is Bumble Pencil with Intersection Lip Gloss. I think it is beautiful. So if you're wondering what's on the lips right now, that's the one. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.